Can you give me a little bit of a little bit more deep dive onto the what your typical steps are and maybe how you get them into that process? Some of the hardest parts of getting a deal is getting the person that will talk to you. So give me some of the steps. What's your typical process of trying to get that lead?
The typical process is I take a look at all the different ways that the clients or potential clients are interacting with the company. And, again, I sort of do an analysis, right? So what I like to do is calculate, okay, let's say we've used 5 different channels to date, right? They could be, cold emailing, they could be cold calling, anyway, 5 different channels. So what I like to do is analyze, okay, what's the likelihood from the beginning of the channel to the end that this, a client, potential client becomes a customer, and then we see where the highest likelihood is based on each channel, and then we see if we can exploit that channel more, or we can, continue to scale in that particular channel. So really, my approach is very data driven, and I like to use as much data as possible.
That's actually really good in making it data driven. How do you leverage the information? How do you get that information to make it data driven, to know what's working well? And then how do you replicate that?
The answer to that question really depends on the client's CRM system or accounting system. Sometimes it's a combination of both. It just depends on how their accounting and how their CRM is set up. But typically, there's a lot of functions within a CRM that can show you, for instance, at this stage of the pipeline, here's the percent likelihood that the deal closes and things like that. And so you can leverage a lot of software and CRMs to help and assist with that process. But sometimes it's manual, right? Sometimes a client doesn't even have a CRM set up, or it's not very sophisticated. So we have to go in and change some things, or kind of bolster their software a little bit. And that's something that I can certainly help out with as well.